Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for Monday, October 28th, 2013. I am astrologer David Palmer, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Well, check out my big webinar on Saturday, which is going to go deep into not only the big eclipse that we have, the sun is going to conjunct Saturn, so this is going to deal with a lot of the frustrations, getting down to the bottom of things, and we have Jupiter going retrograde. There is so much to go over in November, plus the understanding of this Mercury retrograde. So please check out the webinar for this Saturday. I will be home. It's going to happen at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard. So make sure you join it, because what this does is it gives you the ability to have a live question and answer with me. Also, it is involved with a lot of people, so you get to really trade your feelings with others. And on top of all of it, there is this live interactive part with a live slideshow that is done by me over video. It's awesome, where we go deep into the month and every little nook and cranny to make sure you plan correctly for your month and that you have a really understanding completely of what you can do here in November, especially as there is a lot of levers being pulled here. Now, we are in between this big eclipse. And so this is really weird energy to be in, as we are really starting to see the sun and the North Node to come together. This means there is karma building. This means that we are going deeper and deeper and deeper into the realms of our very personal inner world. Now we have a moon in Leo today, which has been here all weekend. And I think that this moon in Leo is going to trigger a lot today, as it is going to make a trine over to Venus, which means it's opening up some value systems. It's opening up to pleasure. It's opening up to relationships, warm feelings. Now I think it's so important to pay attention to this, because I think that the events over the weekend and the events of today are connected, as into this being the signal if you're on the right track in your life, if you are feeling like you are dedicated and investing into a life that makes you happy, that makes you feel fulfilled, that makes you feel like it's part of opening doors into all of your value systems and the right relationships. Now that's a big thing to be in. I think it's really weird as we have this really weird configuration happening of a yod forming, as the sun and Mars are coming into a yod with Uranus. This is forcing us to take action now in reinventing ourselves, making sure we're listening to our inner core. But what it means is this is a very difficult position if you're not creating your life correctly based on your truth, because that means that the identity you're pushing out, what you identify with in your life, not only as your name, your outer world, yourself, but the world that you live in, could be incorrectly start to make it harder on you. Uranus is a really rough planet because it forces reinvention, it forces future. This really makes sure that your future is being written correctly. And this all has to do with you living in your truth. This has to all do with you living in your heart's desire. And these two aspects are not easy to get. Usually we either have the money, but we don't have the pleasure. Maybe we have the love and we don't have the money. It's weird aspects. Maybe we are in marriages, but we love them, but we don't really want to be with them. It's weird energy that this brings up. And this is today where you can really register to see how well you're opening up with your heart. And I think that everybody has that capacity, but it's so weird that Mercury is going to conjunct Saturn. So there is a sober effect on our attitudes, that our minds can go very frustrated. Our attitudes can go very depressed, very quick and very intense. So it's going to test to make sure that you're watching your mind today, as the mind, I think, needs some stable ground to be in. I think that it is used to plan how to get more investing into your truth. So pay attention to your heart, though. Don't make sure that your attitude's getting in between your heart opening up today or having fun or laughing, to make sure you understand what you want, because with the heart, it actually helps you with where to invest, because you feel in love with it. You feel the joy. And it is this joy that can come today if you are using your mind to plan with that joy instead of blocking that joy. On top of all this, it is this yod that I see forming, or even if we just want to look at this Sun-Mars energy that is forming, where you're going to have to really start to put action in times where the universe really wants you to sit back and kind of relax and make sure you're putting in the right energy. It is the action of the lifestyle you live. doesn't mean that maybe put so much energy into a project or put so much energy into a certain aspect, but more on the little things, more on the details that build this life. And it's really crazy because Mars is starting to oppose Chiron in Pisces, which there's this healing that is trying to happen, but you've got to be making sure you're taking correct action and that you're not mistaking your actions incorrectly, maybe off some part of you that's wounded, so you're acting to get over those wounds. You know, this can be a week of people don't know how to take it correctly, as Mercury and Saturn meeting up in a retrograde is not fun. It can be very depressed. It could be very sober. It could be very frustrated if you're not living in this truth. And Uranus is a planet of innovation and future, and it's starting to make aspects not only to the Sun, but the North Node, and also to Mars. This is, and actually, I forgot, that this is the Pluto-Uranus square. So you were forced to break down your life and try new things and invest correctly into correct goals. So you are having to, you know, for those that are, this is that moment where you make the tweaks and you're starting to see what you really love. And for those that aren't, use that to start to light your life correctly, because when this solar eclipse comes this weekend, the universe is dropping a huge bomb on truth where you can't deny it anymore. And you know what? The truth is you can't deny it now. But I'd hate for you to have, when the universe shows up with a million signs or a million armies or a million things on the outer gates of your truth and forces you into your truth. And you could do that the easy way, or you could do that the hard way. And I'm giving you this now as the Piper right before, you know, the trail splits. This is where the trail splits, is right here with your happiness, your truth, and by making the correct actions and by investing into healing yourself correctly. Because I'm starting to see, and I'm starting to notice in the astrology, that there are those that just are not accepting the healing that the universe is asking for them to step into, and that it's by the little actions they take in their life that actually start to add up and make sure that they can heal themselves. It's like there's this avoiding of healing going on. Oh, I'm in this, but I don't want to be there. But I can't, I gotta wait. There's so much of that waiting around, and people afraid to step into the radicalism and the craziness of a re-identification in their life, which not only offers the correct roads, but the correct success, but it offers your truth, which will give you an investment into a life that you really want to be in. And so you're going to have to do this now. And this is the fork in the road, because as things get deeper here, and as things get weirder and more different, I think it's important for you at this marker point to make sure that you are really happy. And today is that day. It's weird that the universe picks this day, because usually people are in weird positions on this day. It usually is a weird feeling. It's a weird spot to be in. It's like, really questioning this to make sure that you are 100% invested correctly into the life that you really want, that you are building from the plans that really go towards that place. And if you're on a plan or on a train that is leading to a cliff, and so you cannot keep staying on this train, I think it's time to plan to get off to the next stop if you have to. And if you're on the right train, this is time to see more of what you could do to these plans to make it that much better, and to invest in areas that will give you more. So thank you guys so much for all the support, especially as I've been here, out here on my trip and all over the West Coast. I will be back at my home later this week, so I'll finally be home. And, I appreciate everybody for all your support. And if you want to get a one-on-one reading with me, I have a couple slots open next week, and then readings are starting to book up through the second week in November. So please book now, inclusiveastrology.com. And thank you guys so much for all your support. I love you so much, and I will see you guys tomorrow.